Good evening, I'm Destiny Patterson. Thanks for watching our weekend edition of KSLA News 12. Let's get you caught up. The Louisiana State Fire Marshal says a disabled man died in an early morning house fire. They say his wife was burned when she tried to save him. It happened around 2:30 this morning in the 8900 block of Melanie Lane, that's off of Linwood Avenue. And when fire crews got to the scene, smoke was coming from both sides of the house, and that home is now a total loss, and that blaze is now under investigation. For this man, this is 29-year-old Ronnie Toon. Toon was last known to be in the Hochatown area around 2 a.m. on Thursday, March 31st. He's around 6'2", 170 pounds with blue-green eyes and black hair. Deputies say Toon's vehicle was recovered in the Narrows at Mount Fork River. So if you have any information on Toon's whereabouts, you're asked to call the number that you see there on your screen.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're looking at our next threat of severe weather and the latest update to that severe weather threat. They did bump us up to an enhanced risk. That's now a level 3 out of 5 here in severe weather. We're looking near the I-30 corridor in northward, a slight risk for severe weather. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about this change and also still go over the timing and impacts that we can see. We'll break that down in detail in just a moment. But this evening has been a fairly nice day throughout the afternoon. It's fairly warm, but beautiful out there. No clouds in the sky. Here's a look at current temperature. Still very warm out there. It's 82 degrees in Shreveport and in Mansfield, 81 in Texarkana and Minden, 86 currently in Natchitoches. It's currently 79 in DeQueen, 78 right now in Marshall, Texas. Again, a very warm day, but we are looking at temperatures that are going to start to fall down into the 70s and 80s if this can advance. It's not going to advance. We'll talk about it a little bit more coming up in your full forecast.
We now know the name of the man who died in a shooting on Marshall Street yesterday. According to the Caddo Coroner's Office, 30-year-old Faison Jenkins was sitting in the passenger seat of a vehicle when he was shot multiple times around 5 a.m. Saturday morning. Police say that shooting happened near Ant's Urban Lounge and left 3 others hurt. One woman was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, and authorities are still working to identify a suspect in this case. So if you have any information on this incident, you're asked to call the number that you see there on your screen. Authorities are looking for the suspect who opened fire in a large crowd in California. Police say 6 people were killed and at least 12 others were hurt in downtown Sacramento early this morning. Police do not know if there was an event taking place at the time, but a mother of one of the victims says that she still can't believe it.
My son was a very vivacious young man. You know, fun to be around, like to party, have fun, smiling all the time, you know, don't bother people. And for this to happen, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm just to the point right now, I don't know what to do. I don't even think this is real. I feel like it's a dream.
Police have not released the names of any of the victims in that shooting, and there's no word on the conditions of those currently being treated in hospitals. Over in Texas, 1 person is dead and at least 10 others were shot at a trail ride concert. That includes 3 young people who've been taken to the hospital. Dallas police say that they were called to the venue early Sunday morning, and police have not released any details about a possible suspect and do not have the motive for this shooting. Southwest Airlines is letting customers rebook flights this weekend after a planned system outage. The airline announced flight disruptions and delays Saturday nationwide after it paused service. Southwest says the problem was caused by an intermittent technology issue. Now, because of this, those impacted by that disruption and those who have flights booked with the airline for today can rebook without any additional charges. You'll have 14 days to choose a new flight, but you can only travel to and from your original city. New reports have come in that Russian forces were holding 11 Ukrainian mayors captive and killed one of them. Cole Higgins has the latest, and we want to warn you, some of that video is graphic and disturbing.
Odessa under attack Sunday morning. A Russian missile strike hitting an oil refinery and fuel depot in the key southern Ukrainian port city, to the northwest of the capital Kyiv in Bucha.
It is a brutality against civilians we haven't seen in Europe for decades.
New disturbing images show a mass grave with bodies wrapped in black plastic bags. And alarming video shows more than a dozen bodies strewn across the streets of the village, which has seen some of the heaviest fighting since the start of the war.
Indeed, this is genocide.
We believe that Russian forces have committed war crimes, and we've been working to document that.
Despite the evidence, Russia claims the extensive footage from Bucha is fake. Some good news: Ukrainian prisoners of war rescued from Russian forces and returning to Kyiv. A senior Ukrainian defense official claims the region of Kyiv is now liberated from Russian forces. But NATO Secretary General warns that Ukraine and the world shouldn't let down their guard.
What we see is not a real withdrawal, but we see that Russia is repositioning its troops. The attacks will continue.
During his visit to Malta, Pope Francis:
Let us now pray to her for peace as we think of the humanitarian tragedy in martyred Ukraine, still under the bombings in a sacrilegious war.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
A general of the armed forces of Ukraine said in a Facebook post today that Ukrainian troops have reclaimed control of Pripyat, the ghost town near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. And that post included a photograph of the Ukrainian flag that you see here flying over the town. It was evacuated in 1986 following the explosion and fire at that power plant, the world's worst nuclear disaster. The Christ Temple Missionary Baptist Church will be hosting a community clothing giveaway. It's happening next Saturday, April 9th, and that event will last from 11 a.m. to 3. Members will give out clothes for men, women, and children.